Dear brothers and sisters, throughout this week, we have been studying the Sabbath School lesson on the topic Facing Opposition. Let me share with you a few closing thoughts. In the rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem city, the people of Judah encountered two kinds of enemies. One, open enemies, the Samaritans, the Ammonites, the Arabs, and the people of Ashdod. Two, secret enemies, people who pretended to be friends but were actual enemies. It is much easier for us to face these open enemies because they are our enemies and we know they would attack us any moment. But it is more difficult for us to face the so-called secret enemies because they pretend to be our friends but are enemies within. And it becomes even more challenging for us as people of God when the open enemies and the secret enemies join hands together. Nehemiah was able to recognize these two types of enemies and was able to face them with boldness, with wisdom, because he was relying on God, because he knew God, and because he was diligent in the work of God. And today, we also can face our enemies if we are relying on God and we know who God is and we are doing His work diligently. While we are in the business of facing our enemies, let us not forget the teachings of Jesus Christ. Jesus told us to go even a step further. In fact, He told us to love our enemies and pray for them. We may be so busy defending ourselves that sometimes we may be giving some punches ourselves. But the Bible tells us to turn the other cheek, which is very difficult for us and even impossible. Unfortunately, there are church leaders, including ordained ministers of God, who find it very difficult to turn the other cheek. But that is what God has asked us to do. Nehemiah faced all sorts of threats, all sorts of accusations, oppositions, lies, treachery, assassination plots on his life. Yet, he did not retaliate on any one of them. He simply told the truth, prayed to God, and carried on his work. He did not challenge his enemies. Each time they sent a message to him, he respectfully sent back a message to them. He faced his enemies with respect, dignity, and with no spirit of revenge, because he believed vengeance is God's and not his. Polycarp, the beloved Bishop of Smyrna, was one such Christian. According to tradition, it is believed that Polycarp was the disciple of John the Beloved. So he was the last link with those who knew Jesus personally. He was a man of God, a man of prayer, a man of devotion, a man who deeply loved Jesus. In order to teach the Christians a lesson, the pagan officials arrested old Polycarp. And as he was being judged, the official turned to Polycarp and said, "Old man, respect your age. Denounce Jesus, denounce your God, and accept Caesar as your God, and I will let you go." Old Polycarp turned to this official and with firmness in his voice said, "For 86 years I have served him, and he has done me no wrong. How can I blaspheme my God, my King, who has saved me?" The story says that old Polycarp was burned at a stake, and he died in faith, singing to his master, to his God, to his Jesus. there were many witnesses, and many of these witnesses later on became Christians because of the faith and the courage of Polycarp. Oh dear friends, when you and I face oppositions, hardships and difficulties, may we have the spirit of Polycarp. May we have the spirit of Nehemiah. That is my sincere prayer for you and for me. God bless you.